Hello everybody and welcome back to KHOW NOW! Many of you may be wondering, where did KHOW NOW go? It's been a little over a year since I made a video, and you have to wait no longer. I'm back and I'm here with another movie review. Today we're going to be reviewing Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald. I don't think that's how his name is actually pronounced, but the new Harry Potter movie, sans Harry Potter actually. This is about Newt Scamander. Today we're going to be reviewing that movie, but before that I do have to address the elephant in the room. Yes, it has been a while since I have made a video. You may be wondering, Kyle, why did you go on hiatus? You didn't even get your channel up off the ground. You barely even made any videos. You would be correct, but hopefully this is the start of a new era in the KHOW NOW channel, and hopefully we can have many videos to come following this video. So today, let's jump right in and talk about Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald. So this movie is the second movie in the Fantastic Beasts series. The first movie found our hero, Newt Scamander, trying to gather his critters across the US while also finding the Obscurus Credence and thwarting the beginnings of Grindelwald's plan. I actually really enjoyed the first film, and so I was really looking forward to this second installment in the franchise. This film was also written by J.K. Rowling, who wrote the first film as well, and was also directed by David Yates, who directed the first film and then also directed the last several films in the Harry Potter series. So you would think, yes, David Yates, he's back, he's returning, it's going to be really great. J.K. Rowling is continuing her screenwriting career. And I actually thought that this film fell kind of flat. As such a big fan of the first film, I went in expecting a lot, expecting to be wowed. And while there were aspects of the movie that I really enjoyed, there was a lot that I didn't actually enjoy. First off, the whole movie seemed like setup after setup after setup. I didn't really feel like the plot had any meat to it. A lot of it was kind of confusing. There were so many different things going on at once that it was hard to follow, and at several points during the movie I actually found myself thinking, how much longer is in this movie? That's never a good sign when you're in a film and you're thinking, how much longer is there until it's over? So yeah, there was just a lot going on, a lot of different scenarios, sequences happening. So that was one thing. It was confusing and just there was a lot and it wasn't anything of substance. Another thing, piggybacking off of the idea that there was too much going on, it seems like J.K. Rowling wrote this movie almost like it was a book. Books are, is her strong suit, but in books I feel like you're able to work with a lot more than what you can in a movie. Movies tend to be a little bit more focused in. Anytime a book gets turned into a movie, they always kind of trim it down to make it flow a little bit better. And this screenplay almost seems like it was written like a book instead of a movie. There's just a lot going on. That gets me to my second point, and that is that some of the plot points in this movie just did not make sense to me whatsoever, and almost to the point that it made me mad at some of the character choices. Without getting too much into spoilers, because this will be a non-spoiler review, so don't worry. Without getting too much into spoilers, there were some decisions that some characters made where I just thought to myself, I don't think this character would make this decision. I don't know why this is happening. It was just a little frustrating. There's also some just plot holes that I still can't get past, and I know J.K. Rowling has addressed this on Twitter, and she says, all will be told in due time, but how is it that Newt Scamander can get expelled from Hogwarts and yet he still has his wand? I don't know how this is possible. Maybe he's the reason why students get expelled and snap their wands. Maybe it's that, he got his grades on his tests that he needed and then was expelled after that, and so technically he's a qualified wizard. Whatever it be, I still don't understand it, and it frustrates me to death. So anytime you have a movie where there's things that are confusing in the movie and you don't really understand what's going on, it makes the film a little bit more hard to understand. Another thing I really wanted to see from this movie was more of Jude Law. I was really excited about Jude Law being cast as Dumbledore. And frankly, he wasn't in the movie enough to get me really excited. You know, I realize that further films in this series will feature him much more heavily, but this movie was kind of light on the Jude Law Dumbledore action, and I was wanting a little bit more of it. As for the other casting, again, you have all the characters returning from the first film, and all of that works really well for me. Each of those characters, as far as the acting goes, works really well for me. Again, like I said, there were some character choices that I wasn't a big fan of, but again, save that for a spoiler review. With Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, I'm not the biggest fan of this casting. I just don't think he's right for the role, and I just really, I'm not a big fan. And that's just personal preference. Again, there are other actors that could have played that role much better than Johnny Depp. So, based off all of this, based off the fact that there's just so much going on and it's confusing and I don't know which plot point to follow, and all of it didn't really make sense, and the fact that, you know, some of the characters' choices frustrated me, based on all of this, I would have to give Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald a 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, wasn't great. I'm still a huge Harry Potter fan. I love the original series. I read all the books. I even love Fantastic Beasts, the first film. And who knows, maybe after the entire series comes out, I will look back more favorably on this film. But as it sits right now, as the second film in the series, and as a standalone film, it just wasn't doing it for me. So it makes this a lifelong Harry Potter fan a little sad. But again, like I said, 5.5 out of 10. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, like I said, I hope this is the first of many more KHOW Nows to come. If you liked what I had to say, like, subscribe, comment, do the things that they tell you to do on YouTube. Let me know what you thought of the Crimes of Grindelwald, or let me know if you thought it was more of a crime that J.K. Rowling committed. That was a horrible joke. Even if it was bad, it was not a crime. J.K. Rowling, you're doing great. I love everything you do. Maybe not this as much, but now I'm just rambling. Just cut the camera. Cut the camera. Thank y'all. Bye.